Hey YouTube, it's Adam from I'm a Music Mogul, and welcome to another remake video. Today we'll be making the track No Limit by G-Eazy featuring A$AP Rocky and Cardi B, so let's get straight to it. First things first, let's go ahead and set our tempo to the correct one, and the right one is 88 beats per minute. And we're going to start off with that tension building sound. We're going to bring in Logic's ES2 synthesizer. And we'll be working with a preset here that comes bundled with Logic. It's going off my screen. It's under Synth Pads. And the pad preset is called Dark Pad 01. So let's come back to that in a moment and draw in that pattern. So here we go. So there's the pattern right there for that tension building sound. So I'm going to go ahead and duplicate this over the 4 bars. And let's go back and open up our ES2 setting. Alright, I'm actually going to leave this sound untouched. Let's go ahead and just bring in an EQ. We're going to cut out some of those lows. Just to kind of get it a little bit nasally. Next, what we're going to do, we're going to open up overdrive and bring in some drive or distortion. We'll go to distortion overdrive. All right, that sounds good like that. And last, let's go ahead and bring in Logic's reverb. We're gonna use Logic Space Designer. And for this sound, since it is like a tension building sound, I'm thinking we're gonna work with a crazy effect reverb. Let's go to Warp Effects, Drone Tones, and let's see this first one here, how it sounds. That one kind of sounds cool. It gives us a little tension in the background on top of the sound. So that sound pretty much stays in the background. Next, let's go ahead and get in those choirs that are also hovering around behind this lead sound. So for this sound, we're going to go ahead and create a new software instrument track. And pull up Logic's browser here. We're going to go to Legacy, Logic. I believe the sound was under synthesizers, warped voices, and we're going to go to choir gate. Actually, let's try the next one, chorus choir. Alright, so that's the sound right there. Let's see if we push this down 1 octave. So that kind of sits sort of just in the background and sort of just adds another layer to that tension building sound. Next, let's go ahead and bring in those pianos. All right, so let's go ahead and create a new software instrument track. Let's close out Logic's browser here to give us more window space. For this sound, we're going to be using Logic Sculpture. And the preset that we'll be working off can be found under modeled keyboards. And I believe it was called Electric Grand Chorus. So let's go here and draw in that pattern or melody. right, so here's that pattern that sort of repeats itself. Let's go ahead and just repeat that 3 times. All right, the way I repeated that, just in case you guys are wondering, I select the notes I want to repeat, hit Command R on my keyboard, and select the number of times I want to copy, which is 3, and that gives it over 4 bars. Let's just go ahead and pull up the attack here to make it a little less plucky. All right, next what we're gonna do here is open up a channel EQ, and we're gonna cut off some of those highs because the sound is sort of a low sort of sound. So let's go ahead and cut off those highs. All right, next let's go ahead and bring in a reverb. Once again, we'll be using Logic Space Designer. And for this, I guess we could use a large space. Let's go for a spring verb, and let's just use the first one again. All right, so now we got the foundation to the beat. Next, let's go ahead and bring in those drums. All right, so let's go ahead and create a new software instrument track. And we'll be bringing in Logic's EXS24 sampler instrument, as I created a drum pack for this remake. Here it is right here, the No Limit drum kit. Let's make it nice and loud as usual. So what we're gonna do here is start off with the kick, and the drums pretty much stay the same throughout the entire track. There is a little section where there's a little breakdown, and we'll get to that as well. But let's go ahead and start off with that kick. All right, so that pattern repeats itself. Once again, let's select our notes, Command R in 3 to stretch it out over 4 bars. Next, go ahead, duplicate this track, and let's draw in our open hats. Ooh, here we go. All right, once again, let's select those, Command R, copy that over the 4 bars. All right, let's go ahead and duplicate this track. And you guessed it, we're gonna go ahead and put in those snares. Let's just find our snare. I think it was here. Raise that level up. All right, that's the pattern for the snare. Once again, Command R, copy it over 4 bars. Let's duplicate this track. And we're gonna layer up that snare with a clap. And the clap can be found right here. All right, once again, select those, Command R, copy over 4 bars. Let's go ahead and duplicate this track, and we're gonna bring in a percussion that hits on every one. So let's go ahead and put that in here. right, so that's pretty much the foundation to the drums. Next, let's get to those hi-hats. Actually, before we get to that, let's go ahead and just duplicate that over the full 4 bars. All right, let's go ahead and duplicate this track, and let's draw in those hi-hats. It's a fairly simple hi-hat pattern, and once again, it goes throughout the entire track. Let's change this to our brush tool and brush those hats in. So what happens with the hi-hats, it's a straight 16th note hit, except at the beginning, it sort of has a little stutter right here. So let's change our time division to 30-second notes. And we'll do that here as well. Actually, it's going to happen on the 3. All right, next we got to bring in those big 808s to kind of fill out our low end. So let's get to those. All right, so for this 808, we're going to keep it nice and clean. Let's create a new software instrument track. And we're going to bring in Logic's ES2 synthesizer and use that 808 preset we use in a lot of our remakes. Close that for now. We'll come back to it, and let's draw in that pattern. Go down to a nice low octave, and let's get started on that pattern. All right, so there's our 808 pattern right there. Let's go ahead and duplicate that over the 4 bars. Let's go and open up our ES2 and just adjust that a little bit. Just gonna pull up our attack. Maybe pull down the sustain a little bit. All right, that sounds good just like that. Let's go ahead and maybe start arranging it out a bit, and then we're gonna get to that little breakdown that happens every now and then in the track. Okay, so for the first part, I'm just gonna actually just duplicate this to keep things easy here. For the intro part of the song, we don't have these 2 pieces. I believe everything else is intact, and then everything comes together here. Let's see how that sounds so far. at this end part over here is where that stutter happens. And let's just go ahead and just do this. I believe the kick changes up. The hats changes up. Actually, I think everything changes up here. So let's go ahead and just close all that. And let's get to working on that breakdown. All right, so let's start with the kick over here. So go something like this. And then for the open hat, I think it just follows the kick pattern. And then for the clap, it happens at the end here. All right, and then we have this little vinyl scratch that happens in this breakdown as well. And I believe Logic has a scratch sound. Let's go ahead and just search a vinyl scratch here. Let's take a look. All right, so let's go ahead and just take vinyl scratch 6, put that in. And I believe it happens something like this. Just gotta line it up properly. Let's take out this last scratch. Put that again over here. Let's put another one over here. Maybe we can put another one here as well. We could take it out either way, kind of work. Let's go ahead and just close that. So we're good to go for that. And that's pretty much the beat right there. If we just go ahead and arrange this out. All right, so I just took a minute to pause the video and just arrange the track a little bit better. I just added a little 808 over here under this breakdown because it didn't sound full enough to me. So I just added an 808 to fill up some of that bottom end. So now you can sit back, relax, and enjoy and listen to the remake we just put together, G-Eazy's track, No Limit, featuring A$AP Rocky and Cardi B. So that is G-Eazy's track No Limit featuring A$AP Rocky and Cardi B. For you Logic users out there, I'm going to go ahead and save this entire session for you guys and place that as a downloadable link in the description box below this video. For you non-Logic users out there, got your back as well. I'm going to go ahead and export all these MIDI stems, include the drum kit and this vinyl scratch sample over here. You can also find that playback in the description box below this video. If you have any questions on this, you can ask me in the comments below. But for more good videos like this one, or a thumbs up, share it, and of course hit that subscribe button. I'll talk to y'all soon. Later. Peace.